Hey team, Major Foe here. Starting a new YouTube war. Name undecided right now. Um, but I've got a few good players here. We're looking to string a new game out, and some new folks that are looking to play. So very excited for this game. We've got Deathedist, who's already got his German turnout. He's also playing Italy. I'll be playing the CCP and Russia. Derspert will be playing Japan. Davik, good to play with you again. We'll be playing Commonwealth and France. And the Ian will be playing USA and KMT. All right, looking forward to those videos in the future. Here we go with the CCP turn. CCP has $2. They're going to spend $1 on an influence roll to influence Singhai. They have no combat and with only one territory, no non-combat. So we'll do our influence roll. We're looking for a 2. We're only allowed to spend $1 as we only have one territory adjacent to this country. So we're looking for a 2 or less. That's a 7. That's not great, but it's not a 12. If it was a 12, it would have flipped to KMT. Okay, and then we'll do the recruitment roll. For CCP, we're looking for a 1 because we only own one territory. That's a 6, so that's a miss. So, CCP has $2. So they save 1, so they'll finish with 3. Okay, that was a quick one. On to Russia. Russia has $4. They're going to lend lease the Republicans a mountain infantry, and they get the sub and destroyer, which they originally start with. There is no combat movement for Russia, and there is no combat movement for Republic Spain. I'll go right into non-combat movement. The coastal sub will move 1 from M1 to M2. The destroyer will also move 1 to M1 to M2. The heavy cruiser will go into port, providing a militia for Catalonia if it does come under attack. Correction, there is one attack for Republican Spain. Republican Spain will move the cavalry into Western Andalusia and take that for Republican Spain. Apologies for that, folks. The back to non-combat, the fighter will move into Catalonia. This is going to be great. I like these flight stands. I'm going to try these out this game and see how that works. The infantry is going to move up into Madrid, and the medium bomber will also move into Catalonia. So we've got a fighter in Catalonia, an infantry in Catalonia, the medium bomber, and the heavy cruiser in port, providing 1 militia. Madrid has 3 infantry, and Western Andalusia has the cavalry. Rio de Oro still has the militia, and the Canary Islands still has a militia. Okay, so that is all of the movements, non-combat and combat for Republic Spain. I'll just do the recruitment now, so that one's done. I'll probably play them as their own country from now on, just like CCP. Okay, so recruitment. Spain has 3 countries down here. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4 countries up here. So we're looking for a 7 or less for the recruitment roll. That's a 1. So I will probably get 2 militia. And I'll place 1 in Madrid and 1 in Catalonia. So there's now 3 infantry and a militia in Madrid, and there's now an infantry, a militia, and a militia from the heavy cruiser, fighter, medium bomber, and then 1 cavalry in Western Andalusia. Okay, that will conclude Spain. I'll go on to Russia. As Russia purchased the land lease, that'll go at the end of the Russian turn, so I'll figure that later. Okay, there's no combat movement for Russia, so we'll go into non-combat. Infantry from Karelia will move to Kola. Infantry in northern Russia will move to Karelia. Infantry in western Russia will move to Leningrad. The cavalry in western Russia will move 1 into Karelia, 2 into Kola. The light tank in Smolensk will move 1 into western Russia, 2 into Karelia. The infantry in Smolensk will move to southern Belarusia. The infantry in Oral Kursk will move to southern Belarusia. The motorized will stay. The fighter will move 1 to Smolensk, 2 to northern Russia, and 3, oh, that's going to be a pain, 3 to Leningrad. I will have to bring in a task force marker for this. The infantry in Moscow will move to western Russia. The infantry in Gorky will move to Yaroslav. Correction. The infantry in Moscow will not move to western Russia. No, he will. The transport plane can pick up the infantry in Gorky. 1 to Gorky, 2 to Yaroslav, 3 to northern Russia, 4 to A9, 5 to Kola, 6 to Karelia. Okay, and 7 he can move into, because there is a air base there, he can move into Leningrad. The other fighter will also move to Leningrad. Oh, this is gonna, I'm gonna have to lose these. They're not fun to work with at all. Okay, sorry about that, folks. Thought I'd try them out. They do look pretty cool, but they are a pain. I will get a task force marker for that. And the tactical bomber also into Leningrad. Okay, apologies for that mess. Oral Kursk has a motorized, it'll stay there. The motorized from eastern Ukraine will also move to Oral Kursk. The infantry in southern Ukraine will move to western Ukraine. The infantry in Kiev will move to western Ukraine. The infantry in eastern Ukraine will move to western Ukraine. The infantry in Crimea will move to Taurida. The light tank in Kiev will move 1 into eastern Ukraine, 2 into Oral Kursk. The motorized in Stalingrad will move 1 into Tula-Lipetsk and 2 into Oral Kursk. The infantry in Saratov will move to Moscow. The infantry in Stalingrad will move down to the country with a K, because I can never get that one right. The seaplane in Donetsk Kubin has 6 movement. We'll move 1 to Oral Kursk, 2 to Smolensk, 3 to northern Belarusia, and 4 into Leningrad. So once again, I'll get a task force marker for Leningrad. It's a bit of a mess. Okay, Northern Caucasia has an infantry moving to Transcaucasia. The cavalry also moves down to Transcaucasia. The infantry in Western Kazakhstan will move over to the country with a K. Central Kazakhstan has a motorized. It will move 1 to Western Kazakhstan, 2 to Stalingrad. Infantry in Turkmenistan will stay there. I think the map is a bit off, the one I'm using, so I'm going to have to go back and check the neutrals. Don't think they're all in the spots. I'm pretty sure there's not 2 infantry here, but once again, apologies for that. I'll get that sorted for next turn. Infantry in Amur will move to Promorsky Krai. The infantry in Yakutsk will move to Amur. The militia in Chita will move to Amur. The motorized in Chita will be railed to Oral Kursk, so that's 1. And the cavalry will move 1 to Angara and 2 to Baratia. The second rail will be the infantry from Novosibirsk. Ugh, my goodness, today. Novosibirsk will rail to Amur. And that will conclude the movements of the land units. Up here in P7, the torpedo boat destroyer gets a bonus 1 movement for the major port. We'll move 1 to P8 and 2 to P9. The sub will stay in place. The heavy cruiser in M11 with the destroyer has a +1 movement from the major shipyard. We'll move 4 spaces. 1 to M10. 2 to M7, 3 to M4, and 4 to M2. And these subs will stay where they are, light cruisers there, destroyers there. Okay, I think that's all the non-combat movement. So I'll just grab the, oops, grab the 3 units here. The Mountain Brigade will go into Catalonia. I'm going to delete these stands here because I think they're very difficult. Okay, so now there's a Mountain Brigade, an infantry, a militia, and a militia off the heavy cruiser if it is attacked. 1 Republic fighter, 1 medium bomber, 3 infantry and a militia in Madrid, cavalry in Western Andalusia, Canary Islands and Rio de Oro has a militia. There's the coastal sub and destroyer in M2, and these units will go into A14. So now there is 2 destroyers, a light cruiser, and 3 submarines in A14. Okay, up in Kola, there's 2 infantry and a cavalry. Karelia has an infantry and a light tank. Western Russia has an infantry. Moscow has an infantry. Leningrad has the entire air force, which is 2 fighters, air transport, tactical bomber, seaplane, a militia, and an infantry. Southern Russia has 3 infantry. Kursk has 4 motorized, 1 light tank. Western Ukraine has 4 infantry. Cherita has 1 infantry. Stalingrad has 1 motorized. Kalmytskaya, close, maybe. 2 infantry. Transcaucasia, 2 infantry and a cavalry. Turkmenistan, yep, I'm hilarious. 1 infantry, coastal sub in M11, and cavalry in Buryata, 2 infantry and a militia in Amur, and Primorsky Krai has 2 infantry with the submarine off the shore. That will conclude all of the non-combat for Russia. Russia will collect $4, and the CCP collected their 2. We do have a recruitment role in Mongolia, so I'll need a 4 or less for that. That's a 3. So I think I'll take... I'll do 2 militia. 1 in Central Mongolia and 1 in the country with a U. Okay, folks, that will conclude CCP, Republic Spain, and the Russian turn. Sorry for the confusion, and thanks again for watching.